Food, transition, and abundance. The food is one of the most important needs of human beings. In the past, the problem of increasing population and the few sources of food was a topic of concern. On different cultures, people practices forms of population control. Europe, the most postponed marriage. In France, married couples routinely practiced contraception. In India, large number of people celebrate the new ways of life, and remarriage of widows was severely restricted. On Japan, men postponed marriage until their late 20s or early 30s, which women were usually about 21 years, only when they adopted one of the most distinctive hairstyles that advertised their available for marriage. During the new ways of producing food were discovered, the population growth. Large-scale deforestation released land for food production. Wastelands were adapted to rice farming. Marginal soil was exploited to grow coconuts, not necessarily for food, but for fiber, which was much in demand for matting, and for coconut oil, which was used in every for cooking to make soup. Food production rose simply because farmers applied traditional methods more systematically, like on Japan. The fertile Yellow River on China. Human hands have to intervene to stop losses and reclaim from sea and wastelands during 19th century. In the second half of the century, the number of cattle doubled and pigs increased fourfold. The greatest extension of frontier of food production happened in the vast openlands of Argentina, Brazil, Uruguay, Australia, and North America. The incorporation of North America prior to raise cattle and grow grain was most conspicuous of large-scale adaptation of the environment for human purpose ever recorded. Much of the Southeast Australia and New Zealand became sheep-rearing country, thought mad first more for wool and the meat. The South America grasslands of the Trampa, Desertao in Brazil, and much of the Patagonia in southeast Argentina bred the cattle and sheep. Refrigeration on steamships enabled Argentina to become a major exporter of beef and mutton. Grains soon become more important than meat products, planted by human hands. New kinds of human edible grassweed and maize above all began to replace the native prairie grasses. But the change could not happen with the new industrial technologies. Steel plows turned to sod of the prairie. Railways transported the grain across what would otherwise be an economic distance. The buffalo herds and their human hunters, the Native Americans. Grain elevators introduced in 1950 made it possible to store grains without vast amount of labor. Giant mills which still stand in many Midwestern towns. In Europe, farmers keep their fields constantly productive. Alternative beds of turning with clover alfalfa, which are good crops for renewing the soil because they recycle significant amounts of nitrogen. Root crops such as turnips, rutabagas, and potatoes could keep cattle alive through the winter, generating more manure. New sources of guano began to be mined in the southeast of Africa, and the first chemical fertilizer came into production. By 1863, according to the Farmer's Magazine, British output of superphates, as the new chemical fertilizers were called. Lazarus Palsani's late 18th century observation of the bacteria revealed new possibilities. In the 1870s, Australian engineer made an even more dramatic breakthrough in their preservation techniques. The compressed gas cooler. Meat from Australia or South America or New Zealand could now be refrigerated and shipped to Europe. British agriculture virtually collapsed in the last generation of the 19th century, all over Western Europe. Farmers abandoned wheat for other crops, such as dairy products, smoked meats, fruits, and vegetables, in the face of long-range importance. Food itself became an industrial product. It began the production of cookies and crackers. In the 1840s, chocolate formerly a luxury beverage became a cheap food manufactured as candy bars. Sylvester Graham, inventor of the cereal in the 1830s.